This week, things have begun to open up. Hey friends, it's Andy Nazaroff with the Nazaroff team for this week's Real Estate Corner. You know, a couple of things happened over the last 7 days relative to shelter in place and real estate in the Central California marketplace. Now, I don't have like, oh my gosh, everything's back to normal news. If somebody said that, I probably wouldn't believe them. But what I have is several indicators, several things that have begun to happen over the past 7 days that are excellent news for you. Number one, I want to tell you a little bit about what happened a little over a month ago. You see, when the federal government approved the stimulus packages for unemployment, for payroll protection, for people like you and I being able to get some form of a stimulus check. When that happened, they also said that if somebody stops making their mortgage payment, a banker could not foreclose on them. The lender can't foreclose. They would have to give them what's called forbearance for a date certain, for a period of time. What that did to the mortgage industry is it caused them to panic. It caused them to go, well, wait a minute. If we're going to lend money and it's not necessarily foreclosable, we can't go back and collect the property that we lent on if they don't make a payment, well, then we're going to have to make it harder to get a loan. And what happened was mortgage standards increased since then. FICO scores went from a minimum of 620 in some cases to 680. Credit worthiness, or not just your FICO score, but what was seen inside your credit was really scrutinized. Work histories, whether or not you have the likelihood of remaining employed or being furloughed was being scrutinized. Jumbo loans, which is a certain price in our market, say around $500,000 and up, they were even harder to get. Down payment assistance programs wiped away. All of this happened. And I haven't made a big deal about it because buyer demand has still remained high. And I think it could afford to have some of those buyers have to pause for a minute. But here's the deal. In the last 7 days, we have heard from the insiders in the mortgage industry that those guidelines, those standards are beginning to loosen up back to old where they were pre-stimulus package, if you will. That's great news. And I want to tell you, the second piece of great news is one that if you are that buyer, you probably want to get back into the game, revisit with your lender. If you need a great mortgage partner, we partner with Cynthia Reynoso and I can connect you with her. But you probably need to get back into the game and revisit your standards so that you can make sure you're ready. Because here's the second one. There was a national survey, I believe it was by the National Association of Realtors, it might have been another, that asked homeowners that are likely to sell, will you be putting your home on the market? An astounding 77% of them said as soon as we're open, as soon as we're out of this first phase, getting into the latter part of phase 2, don't ask me how to explain that, we're going to put our house on the market. 77% of them. Folks, inventory is going to increase. I just shared with you, buyer ability to qualify is going to increase. That is going to increase a lot of activity. So if you're thinking about getting in the game, just use this as an encouragement, maybe a probe, get back into the game. Reach out to us. Let us know how we can connect you, help you. We're here for you. Until next time, have a great week.